Hi guys, good morning. Just gonna wait for a few of you to join me, check that we're actually live before I get going. I've had a nice few days off. I've tried not to do too much work. I've tried to give myself a little bit of a break and back doing the videos now. So I'm going to be with you for the next 3 days. I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of what we're going to be making as well. I say I've had some time off. I've been making stuff ready to do shows this week and get things ready. Spent yesterday and the day before making some orchids. Hi, good morning Dean, morning Kitty, hi Maxine. Spent the last couple of days making some orchids, so actually I haven't had time off at all. But I was just relaxing in the garden, which was nice. Because I will be on Create and Craft TV this Wednesday and we have my beaded orchids. So I know I've already made them with you, shown you how to construct them in one of our Facebook Live videos, but we're going to have the kits available on telly and on the website this week, so that'll be nice. Gosh, lots of you. Okay. Morning Max, morning Elaine, hi Marie, Anne, Gemma, Paula, Camille. Nice day here, hope you're well. Oh, we have horrendous rain and wind in Lincolnshire. So it's a very miserable day. That's all right. We spent the last couple of days in the garden. We knew it was the last bit of sun we were going to get. And today is DIY inside day. Morning, Julie. Hi, morning, Mum. Everyone will have seen the pictures of Mum's bunting for Friday VE Day celebrations. It was lovely. She had a lot of love for those. Morning, Bernie. Morning, Sarah. Cold, rainy and windy in Whitley Bay today. So good excuse for plenty of beading. Yeah, definitely. Get those craft projects out today. It is one of those days. I'm glad some of you have some nice weather though, which is nice. Morning, Chef. Okay, so what we're going to do today. Now, I have messed up for today. I've given Kitty all of the samples back. What we're going to be making is a pearl and crystal pendant. I'm actually going to show you it on the website. I had all of the USB samples because I've been doing the shows for the last couple of months. Kitty needed them back, so I've sent them all back to her, including today's samples, but that's okay. I'm going to show you on the website. So this is actually the Totally Beads website. Now I have put a link in the description to this video which will take you to the free project, but I know a lot of you still ask how to find it. So pop onto the website. This is probably back to front for you, but never mind. Pop onto the website, click on categories, and you'll see that you get the drop-down menu. In here, there is one called Free Project, okay? And this is the pendant that we're going to make today. Let me click on it for you. View the details. Okay, so we're going to make a beautiful pearl and crystal pendant. Now, the pearls are on the outside. We're using size 11 seed beads as well. Oh, look, you even get 10% off your free PDF download for today. And we've also included, I say we, royal we, have included the set, which will actually make you 20 pendants for £9.99. Amazing value for money. So these are the pendants. I'm actually going to make it in blue today. Let me zoom in for you. They're really, really pretty. So you've got the satin pearls. I'm going to show you them on my board in a minute. Satin pearls in 2 different sizes. And then we also have our crystals and our seed beads as well. So it's a great, I would say, starter project even for weaving, because it is nice and simple, and your materials list isn't too long, which is nice. So we've got the 8mm and the 6mm pearls, 4mm crystals and size 11 seed beads. We also have closed rings so that you can turn them into pendants at the end as well, and my size 11 seed beads. Okay, so I'll show you the set. We'll get going. So many of you commenting this morning. Thank you so much. I've been missing them all already. I'll go through quickly now. Oh, June says you've got rain today. Hi, morning, Alyssa, Anne, Alison, Michelle, Jill. Debbie, beautiful sunshine here in Medway at the Mo. Lovely, enjoy it. Cloudy but warm here, says Chris. Lucy says, morning Sarah, still on project 14. I can't thread my needle. Needle threading is the hardest part. When I'm teaching, I always say that when we get all of the instructions and all the materials out, I always say to the group, the hardest part is threading your needle, absolutely. Lauren says, you two girls are so addictive to watch. You're my sunshine to watch. Oh, thank you. And we need some sunshine today, so I will try my best for you. Morning, Karen, looking for this tutorial. Jill says, sunny in Abbots Langley. Oh, that's nice. I'm glad some of you have got some nice weather because we don't. So it might be coming to you. A snow shower up in Scotland, says Paula. Good grief. Isn't it so strange that we can just have such different weather? And we're not really that big of a country. Okay, so let's get going. I am going to turn you all around so that we can see what we're doing. Okay, so these are the beautiful materials for today. So I've got my larger pearls. Now these are the mixes. If you're going for the set today, it's normally $14.99. It is on the website today for $9.99, which is fantastic. And it's gonna make 20 of our pendants. And within the next 30-40 minutes, I will show you it in real life because we're going to be finished. So you get a mixture of your colours of seed beads to match all of the colours of your pearls and your crystals, okay? And then you also get your silver and your gold rings. Now, these aren't jump rings. Actually, I'm going to put, yeah, let's put a gold on the blue. Gold's going to look nice. They are solid rings, so they're not going to come out of your weaving either when we attach these on with our threads. So I've got my size 11 seed beads, 4mm crystals. So we're using beautiful round faceted crystals, so you're going to get a gorgeous sparkle. I've got my 8mm pearls, so these are going to be the main body, and then we also have our smaller pearls as well in 6mm. Now once you've learnt this pattern, you can make it in all sorts of sizes. You can start playing around with it all. And once you know the pattern, I mean, you could always learn from a couple because you're making 20. Why not try and freeform your own as well and have a little practice? Okay, so to begin with, we are going to work with our larger pearls. So this is going to create the outside. Now you do have your 8mm pearls, but the pendant itself is made with the 6mm. You can go larger, 6mm pearls and 4mm crystals. So we're going to do this one with the pendant, and then of course you can use these ones to create larger ones as well. So we're going to start with 7. I'm going to pick blue, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The dogs are scratching at the door to get in, wondering what I'm doing. They are just going to have to wait. Okay, so I'm going to alternate between my seed beads and my pearls. Lay them all out on your mat so that you've got everything that you need, and then it's going to make it so much easier. So pick your colours. Do we go for a lighter blue today? Let's go for the lighter one. So I'm going to need 7 of these as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. As you can see, the colour combo that you're getting is going to match all of your pearls. So you can pick and choose. The really nice thing is it doesn't matter how many people buy it. You could all do completely different colour combinations and personalise your makes, which is good. So I'm going to alternate between 2 seed beads and a pearl. And we're going to do this until I've used up all of my 7 pearls. Okay, and then we're going to bring them round into a circle. So I've left my thread on my spool because I can tie off and use that tail to complete it afterwards. I'm not going to tie a knot because we're weaving and going round. So what you want to do, sometimes when you tie a knot, if they get in the way, it's going to make some of your weaving, because we're weaving in a circle, it's going to make some of your weaving a little bit harder because of course you've got a knot to battle with. So what I'm going to do is just tie it off to begin with in our circle, and then when we are finished, we will tie off that thread and that will complete it. So I'm going to move it down. So I've got it left on my spool. I've got about an arm span, which is the length that I will always work with because it's comfortable. And so I'm finishing my pattern because we're going to bring this round on a circle. I've got 2 seed beads at the beginning, so I'm finishing on a pearl, okay? And I'm just going to bring this through, and I'm going to, so again, for those of you who haven't seen my weaving videos yet before, I always suspend my beadwork in my hand like so, which will open up some of the holes as well. So I'm just keeping this nice and straight on my finger, and I'm going to go through, let's go through another one actually, by going through more of your beads, and I'm going to exit from 1 seed bead after a pearl, okay? When you pull this tightly, this is going to make our circle. And the reason I go through a few more beads is because it will give you a complete circle. If you only go through the first couple, it doesn't quite give you a neat enough circle and good enough tension. So the thread that is attached onto my spool, Lucy says, I'm jealous you threaded your needle. Oh, Lucy, bless you. I'll show you a few tips in a minute as to how to thread them easily. So on my strand that is attached onto my spool, I'm just going to wrap that tail around my finger, which will allow me to keep that tension. So my circle will stay closed. This thread will be tight. I'm sort of pushing the beadwork up with my finger, and I'm exiting from one seed bead after my pearl. Now we're going to pick up 7 seed beads. I'm just going to bring these in now that I've finished with my larger pearls. I'm going to bring these in. Now we're going to pick up 7 of our seed beads, and we're going to create a little loop over this pearl. Now the really nice thing is with this pattern is that it's a pattern repeat. So once you've mastered the first probably 3-4 steps, it's just going to be pattern repeat. So I am exiting from one pearl. I'm going to go, from one seed bead after my pearl. I'm going to cross all the way up and over, and I'm going to go through my one seed bead on the other side of the pearl. And then I'm going to take my thread through all the way through the next pearl and also through the next seed bead. Okay, so I'm exiting from the middle, I'm looping up and over, and I'm going through seed bead, pearl, both seed beads, this is where my thread is exiting from, and a pearl and my first seed bead. And when I pull this tightly, what you will see is that it creates a loop around the pearl, okay? And as we start to make our pendant, this loop is going to come onto the inside and we'll fill it with crystals in the middle. But for now, we're going to continue this step all the way around all of the pearls that we have. So the reason I've taken it past my next pearl and again exiting from that seed bead is because we're now going to pick up 6 seed beads. And I know we did 7 in this one, but we're going to borrow this last one here, okay, from our previous round. So from now on, we're only going to add 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to loop back on myself. I'm going to borrow 1 seed bead from here, so that's my previous loop, and then I'm just going to repeat exactly what we did. So through a seed bead, through the pearl, through both of those seed beads, through the next pearl, and also through the next seed bead. So you can see each move is positioning myself for the next set. And when I pull this through, this will give us our second cluster on our pearl. But can you see now I've neatened up and straightened our first cluster as well. So now this bead is shared between the two. It's sat positioned dead in the middle of these two, so dead central, and that's going to give us a perfect finish. Okay, and this is where buying kits that Kitty designs or that I've designed, I'm doing my kits over the next 2 days. The bead count is worked out for you. The hard bit is kind of done. You just have to learn the pattern and follow it step by step, and it will teach you how to get that really professional finish, which is important when you're learning as well, or if the design process is what you struggle with. So again, picking up 6 seed beads, I'm going to borrow that last seed bead from my previous round, and I'm going to position myself for the next one. And I find that this is where, do you remember we didn't tie our tail off? That's still loose at the end. It makes it a little bit easier because I can still get, if I pull this, I can still get gaps in between these beads, which actually for the time being is perfect because it's just going to open up all that little weaving area for me and just make the job a little bit easier. Whereas if it was really tight and I had tied that off, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If it was really tight and I tied it off, this step is a little bit harder. Okay, so again, borrowing from before and then just going through to position myself in the next position for my next cluster. Okay, and don't worry that these aren't straight yet. We're going to correct these as we go. So as you can see, it's very easy and it's a pattern repeat. So you're just going to get better and better. Your tension's going to get better, and you're going to get used to working with these beads. Okay, all the way through, positioning myself, and I am taking care not to pierce my threads as well. So this tail's going to start getting in the way, so I'm just going to move that out the way. Taking care not to pierce your threads, because if you pierce it, you're not going to get that perfect finish, and you will need to unthread your needle and go back a step to position yourself properly. So on my last one, we've got one more to do. So this is where I'm going to take my 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm doing quite well talking and counting today. Today is obviously a good day. I've obviously had quite a good sleep. Okay, so when we are on our last one, so now I'm just going to go through this pearl as opposed to the last seed bead because I want to show you. So I've got my clusters all the way around the outside of all of my pearls, and now I'm back at my very beginning. Because I want to finish off the pattern exactly as we have been before, I'm also going to come up through my first bead, my first seed bead of my first cluster. Oh, hang on, I've missed a bead. Hold on. Right, do as I say, not as I do. Don't go back through your seed beads, but I'm just doing it so that I don't have to thread my needle again. I'm going to go through that seed bead, sorry. Through that seed bead and then up through that first seed bead of our first cluster, okay? And now I'm only going to add 5 seed beads. So we added 7 on our first one, 6 on all of the others because we were sharing, and now obviously I want to share on both sides. So now I'm only going to add 5 because I've already gone through one here. I'm going to add 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm also going to share on this side as well. So I'm going to borrow that one from my previous. And then that will give me the exact same size. And just to finish it off nicely, I'm going to come through the seed bead and through the pearl again, because that will now interlock my final cluster. And I'm going to move all of these around so that they are all on top of my pearls. Come round. Let's go the other way. They all want to sit the other way. And now what we'll do is actually fill these gaps with crystals in between. Okay, so I'm just doing it so that they all go around to the same side. Getting our tail out of the way. Lovely. So I've got them all here. And we're going to fill in our gaps with the crystals. Hold on, let me just get this. I'm all twisted because I'm underneath here. Let's move up to the top. So what we're going to do is actually move up to the very top of the rows of our pearls. And what this will do is position us in the right place and ready to add our crystals. So what I want to do, hold on, I'm just going to get my exact count here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm going to be on the 4th one. So I'm going to come through my crystal, and I'm just referring to the PDF. This is a pattern that Kitty's done, and even when I've made them, I've done these on telly before. You want to make sure you're getting the right bead count all the time. So you'll see that our 4th bead up on our row sits at the very top of the pearls, okay? And this is the one that you want to navigate up to. So with a lot of your weaving, it's just going through previous bead counts and thread paths to position you in the right places so that you can add on your next beads. So a lot of the time, it's just making sure that you can go back through all your beads. Now what I'm going to do is fill a crystal in between these gaps. And I've got my crystals here. We're going for the lighter ones today, just so that I can show you the difference in them. And then we're going to pick up our crystal and cross over from the 4th bead that we're exiting here. Let me bring this up so you can see. 4th bead that we're exiting here over to the 4th bead on the other side. So bringing that through, and when I pull this tightly, it's going to bring together our cluster. And I'm just going to go around, and I'm just encouraging these loops to go at the, up to the top so that I can come through, picking up a crystal, and again crossing over to that 4th bead, so it's the one at the very top, like so. And again crossing over. bringing it around, picking up our crystal, going through that top bead. Some of these seed beads are being naughty today. Hold on. I think I'm crossed over somewhere, but we should be all right. It should bring it up. Somewhere I've got a naughty bead. Hold on. Sorry guys, bear with me one sec. I think with my first crystal, there it is. Let me pull this tightly. If your beads don't sit right, normally there's just a dodgy little thread path somewhere that you need to perfect. And I'm just trying to find it. I think I'm okay. Somewhere my beads have crossed over, but I'm not sure where. I think it's just this one, but I think we're okay. So why is that crystal now crossing over? Hold on one sec. I'm going to unthread my needle. Let me go back through. See, it happens to us all. If you ever find that something isn't quite working, I mean, at the end of the day, we're not gluing anything. I haven't cut any of my threads. So all you need to make sure is that you can go back a couple of steps and correct it. Kitty's probably having a heart attack at home watching me, knowing exactly what I've done wrong. It's this one being naughty. So why? Bear with, guys. Oh, here was me thinking I had a great Sunday too. All because I could count. Maybe I went wrong because I was counting and talking. I'm going to come back a couple of steps because somewhere my thread is crossed over. So I'm going to go back a couple of steps. Camille says, oh no, now you're going to have to thread a needle live. Camille knows, because she's been watching the videos, that is my pet hate. It's my biggest fear when we do live telly as well. I absolutely hate it. But, I mean, to be fair, I've always done okay with it. I've always managed to get it done. Aha! We have crossed over underneath, but where is my thread? So if you ever get in little muddles like this, and I mean, it's probably nice that you can see that we do it too. Can you see here, I've got my thread somehow, somewhere, has got all caught up, and what that is actually doing. So I'm just working out where the thread path is. So I'm taking my needle, I'm going through underneath my threads, because what that will do is just pull through. What I'm trying to do is find this tail. There we go. So when you pull it through, you will find where you've gone wrong. So this has got a little knot. So obviously where I've pulled it, it's gone through and captured some of my beads. So it's if you leave your loops too long and then you're pulling them through, I might just be able to fix it like that. But you can see where it's captured that bead. So that's not going to give me a great finish, but for the purpose of the video, I think I'll probably just leave it now and I'll try and fix it. So if I pull my tension tight here, there we go. Okay, so, right, threading my needles. Lucy, this is just for you. Look, maybe you made this happen. Okay, when you're threading, Bernie says the joy of live demos, but shows us how to get out of a pickle. Absolutely. So many people would then look at that and think, oh, I've done it all wrong. I can't make it work. I can't do it. It's not. A lot of the time, you just have to go back a step, work out where it went a little bit awry, and you can perfect it. So it happens to us all. I mean, I've been beading for, what, nearly 20 years, something like that. It all happens. Especially when you're doing it live. Okay, so the thing is just to stay calm with it and, you know, go back a few steps. It's not a biggie. Take your scissors, cut your thread to a really nice fine point, but don't do this all the time because, of course, each time you're taking away some of your thread. Now, some people hold their thread and take the needle to the thread. A lot of people find that easy. I prefer to hold my needle because I can see the eye of it a lot clearer. Now, with your threads, I also slightly rotate them and twist them in my finger. Can you see that? Because they actually have like a flatter edge. So I will stabilise all of my fingers with my hand, okay? So I'm holding my needle, putting everything there, and use your fingers to rotate everything around. So can you see now the eye is facing me? If I twist it slightly, it's moving away. Just by doing that with both of your hands, you should be able to rotate them enough to be able to go through. And then once you've got it, I mean, I've split this one ever so slightly, so I'm going to just try not to thread it, separate it anymore. Obviously, the more you have to do it, the more frayed your edge is going to get. So you could always put a little bit of glue just on the very tip so that each time you're not going to keep on fraying and fraying them. Okay, so I'm going to come up and try and fix this one so that they all sit properly. So where it had captured my bead, I'm just going to come through to pull that one to the other side, and I'll go to the top here, like so. And now you can see all of my clusters are sitting up at the top. So where it had caught it before and we'd gone underneath, and I think I can probably get away with not even seeing that thread as well. So now let's go back to our crystals. Crossing them all over, up to the top, up to that fourth bead each time, and pulling it in. And this will close the inner circle. So it's going to bring those arches of all of the seed beads in, like so. And it will close up our circle. So my tension on the bottom is still a little loose. We'll fix that in a minute because we'll tie off our thread. Just going around, filling with all the crystals, all the way to the beginning. So you can see how easy it is once you're in the right place and all your arches are sat correctly. And then now back at the beginning, I'm going to go through that first seed bead again, and then also through that crystal, because remember, just like we tied that loop at the beginning, we made our circle. By going through the beads again, it's going to give you a perfect circle. And now when I pull this tightly, we've made our pendant. Okay, so I'm going to cross over up to the top so that I can add on my jump ring. So again, just like with your normal weaving, it's always working through the thread path that you already have. So I'm coming out of my crystal here. I'm going to move down because where I want to position myself is just exiting out of the seed beads next to the pearls. So just following my previous path, I'm coming down the archway of the seed beads. When I pull that tightly, that will now perfect that inner circle of my crystals. Pulling that tightly is giving you that perfect finish with your tension. Down through a seed bead, so that's the one that is shared by two of my arches. And then I'm also going through a seed bead, a pearl. Let's do it step by step. So now that my tension is getting tighter, you can see it's harder to run through those longer runs of your beads. It's going to mean, sorry, I want to exit from the pearl. It's going to mean that it's a little bit harder. So just do it bead by bead. Rather than getting the longer runs, just do it bead by bead, okay? And once we tighten up this tension on the bottom, it's going to bring those pearls in so that they too sit in the perfect circle. So now what we're going to do is add on our jump ring, and I'm just going to do it by making a loop of seed beads, and we're going to attach it just here in between these two. So I'm going to pick up 5 seed beads, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and my ring. Now, because it's a solid ring, it's not a jump ring, there is no connection in there, so that is going to stay nice and in place and it won't ever unthread. And because I'm exiting from my pearl, I'm going to go back into the pearl on the other side. So it's just looping it in between the two. And then when I pull that tightly, it will give me a loop of seed beads and my pendant is attached. really I would probably go for 6 seed beads so that it could be sat in the middle. But that will give us a nice finish. Okay, that's going to give you your loop of 5. Okay, and then you're ready to finish off your threads because your pendant is done. So finishing off your threads, we want to create these half hitch knots. I know the pearls are a little bit flat at the moment, but that's because our tension isn't finished on our tail thread. We'll do that in a sec. And then the half hitch knots, just like we normally do, I'm going to exit out to one of my pearls. So I'm going to come out here because the knot will hide really nice and beautifully next to my pearl. So I'm going to go underneath the thread path, no beads, just under the thread, leaving that loop, bring your needle up and through that loop, and just make sure when you pull this tightly that there aren't any beads in the way, and that's going to sit right next to our pearl. Okay, and then I'm going to come through a few more and I can finish that thread. Now, because it's just a pendant, it's not going to be worn like a bracelet. One knot is going to be fine for me. So I'm going to pull my thread up. I'm going to push into my beadwork with my scissors, and that will get me a perfect finish. Oh, now I'm going to have to thread my... Now I'm going to have to thread my needle live again. So cutting that thread. Again, positioning my eye of my needle in between my index finger and my thumb. So I've got that roll. Taking my thread, and again, you can do that roll. I've probably cut this one a little bit fine. And there we go. And then we're going to finish this tail thread off so that we've got that nice neat tension as well. So I'm going to move away from where I am because that is where we started our project. And I'm going to pull this nice and tightly. Bringing my tail through. Tail's a bit long, let's make that shorter. And I'm just going to really pull that nice and tightly so I've got no gaps in any of my beads, and now my pearls are going to sit beautifully. Okay, which will give you that lovely pendant. And I think the colour combo of these are just gorgeous. Remember, in your sets, your kits will make 20 of your pendants, normally $14.99, but today it's $9.99, but I'll show you through the colour combinations that you've got of them because there are so many different colour mixes that you can make with these pendants. You could even do multicoloured. You could even, use all of your beads as different colours, features. And there we go, that's your lovely pendant. So they're really cute. You could even have them as massive earrings if you wanted. And of course, you've got your 8mm pearls in there as well, so you could make them even bigger. But I think you'll agree it's absolutely beautiful. Really nice as a statement pendant. It is a quick make when you don't go wrong in the middle. Still hasn't taken us too long, has it? I don't think. No, 30 minutes pretty much. So it could be a 25-minute make even. Jack says, phew, you made it. Yeah, you can always just take your time with these things. Nothing is irreversible when it comes to your weaving. Just unthread your needles and start again if you want to. I think so many people get scared and worried. At the end of the day, you can cut all of your beads off. The only thing you might sacrifice is a bit of thread. So there really is no need to get scared. I get scared because you're all watching me. I've got 110 people watching me get in a knot. But hey, it's fine. We've done it. And it's good for you all to see how to get out of the pickle as well. So the colour combos, you've got the beautiful cream, gold, blue, purple. Now these are the satin finish pearls and the colour on them is just to die for. You've got the most amazing finish. These are the 6mm. But as you can see, you've got a gorgeous colour group there. Again, all of your crystals to match those as well. So you've got your golds, you've got 2 shades of your blue, your purple, there's a bit of peach in there, crystal AB, a sort of bronzy rose gold. They're really beautiful. And the satin pearls, the guys have so many colours on the website. This is just the kit that's available for today. But if you like the look of satin pearls, I think these purple are just the most beautiful finish. And even just the cream, you can't quite see it in the video, but they sort of have like a petrol finish to them. And the satin finish is what that gives you. There's so many different colours on the website that you can have a look at. Now, tomorrow, I am going to be with you tomorrow. Who knows? Might get in a muddle. I will try not to. It's one of my patterns tomorrow. We're going to be making rings. So again, we're going to be using seed beads, a little bit more weaving. Jax is asking how much the kit is. The kit to make 20 of your pendants is normally $14.99, but today it's $9.99. And the link is in the description of the video as well. So this is what I'm going to be making with you tomorrow. Now, this is one of my particularly special ones. This one actually has a Swarovski crystal on it. I'm afraid I won't be doing it with Swarovski tomorrow, but I will be using our coin crystals. But I'm going to show you how to create a beaded band. So this is fantastic to use large feature beads, or crystals that you don't really know what to do with. It does have a hole running through it. And we're going to be using seed beads to create a band, which is great if you wear sort of a larger or smaller size than what's deemed as standard and what you can kind of get in costume jewellery. It also means if any of you are super sensitive to metals, so if you have hypersensitive skin, this is only seed beads and thread and our crystal. So there are no metal components in here at all. So it does mean, hopefully, that some of you will be able to wear rings. So this is what I'm going to be making with you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock on the page. These are the crystals that I'm going to be using. Hold on one sec. I'm going to get these out because if you are getting today's PDF and some of the kits, oh, I've already used that strand. If you're getting some of the kits, you might just want to chuck some of these in your basket. You won't have them for tomorrow, but you will have everything you then need to make the rings that I'm going to show you. So I'm going to be using the coin crystals. Now, Kitty has used these. To be honest, I mean, this one is a Swarovski crystal. Of course, you get that shine, but the coin crystals are going to give us just as pretty a finish. On the coin crystal strands, you get lots of different sizes as well. So it graduates from small all the way up to large. They make obviously fantastic necklaces, but with something a little bit different, like making your ring, you can just take one of these beads. I mean, look at the sparkle we're getting here. You can just take one of these and we're going to make a feature ring out of them. And a lot of them are double-sided on their colours as well. So that is tomorrow. And then what's the day after tomorrow? I don't know, what's today? Today's Sunday, so that's going to be Monday. And then on Tuesday, I'm going to show you how to make adjustable memory wire bangles, okay? So memory wire is a fantastic medium to work with. It normally wraps around your wrist. A lot of people want to know how to make bangles, but it's quite hard to get over your knuckles and then still have a nice finish on your wrist because you need your bangles to be really wide for this part of your wrist. So with these, they're actually adjustable. So they go to really large, you pop them on, and then they will snap back into place and bend back down into a small bracelet and bangle. So I'm going to show you how to make adjustable memory wire bangles. That will be Tuesday. So again, lots of crystals, pearls, leftover beads. I'm going to be using 0.8mm memory wire. I'm going to be using a selection of beads that we have, some head pins, jump rings. Some of them you have seed beads on, so there's lots of different materials that you can use, but 0.8mm memory wire is going to be our main component. Oh, lovely. Simon has even popped up a little link to the coin crystals for you as well, so you can get those. That's what we're going to be working with tomorrow. I'll put some of the coins on our memory wire bangles as well. So, hope you enjoyed today's pendant, despite the little knotty mess we got into, but it happens to us all. Beautiful pendants, your free PDF pattern for today, and then tomorrow we're going to be making rings, so a nice bit of bling as well. Thank you so much for joining us. I really hope you've enjoyed it. We have nearly 6 weeks worth of these videos on the Facebook page, so you'll be able to go through. There's weaving, there's turning loops, there's wire work, there's tiaras. Kitty and her son do little mother-child make-alongs as well. They had some lovely button men yesterday. They've been using loom bands. There's so many things that you can fill your day with and hopefully master some new techniques as well. Really hope you enjoyed the pendants today. Remember, you've got your free PDF. The link is in the video. It's also on the description. We've got kits that will make 20 pendants, normally $14.99 down to $9.99. That's in the same category. And then tomorrow I'm going to be here at 10 o'clock in the morning again and making those beautiful rings. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Have a great day, everybody. Stay safe, stay home, keep looking after each other, and I will see you in the morning. Take care.